Ahoy, ahoy! This is Neil with part 2 of a 3-part pro tip from the Lease Pros, reminding you that springtime is also triple net true-up time. In part 1 of this topic, I discussed what triple net true-up is and how to prepare for this expense. Today, I will discuss what to look for when reviewing the true-up statement. Triple net costs can account for 1/4 to 1/2 of the total rent, so it is important for a tenant to understand what is included in this charge and to track increases and decreases from year to year. Some leases require the tenant to make a written request for an itemized statement within a limited time period from the date the statement was sent. You should always do so, in part because it lets the landlord know that you are paying attention to costs and may not pay every charge without question. I also recommend that you print and save each true-up statement for your records. This will give you a ready basis by which you can compare these costs from year to year and category by category to see where there is an unexplained increase in the category or if a new category and charge has been added. One area where costs can rise unexpectedly is under Common Area Maintenance, or CAM. Allowable CAM charges should be detailed in the lease as to category and extent. If your lease limits the landlord to charging only for actual CAM expenses, check to be sure that the landlord did not also charge for operating expenses, which are costs incurred to operate the property beyond those which are required to maintain the property, or charges for capital expenses, which is an expense that returns an element of the property to a like new condition, such as resurfacing the parking lot. Some leases contain a broader operating expense provision, which, in addition to charging for CAM, also passes on the costs associated with operating the property. In such cases, it is important to ensure that the charges are limited to CAM and operating expenses. Notably, capital expenses, think roof replacement, are not operating expenses, but some landlords may attempt to pass such a cost along as part of the true-up. Also, watch out for landlord slush funds. Unless specifically agreed to in the body of the lease, charges for accounts maintained for future repairs do not qualify as CAM or as operating expenses. Because the specific terms of your lease will control, triple net true-up is a great time to review your lease to ensure that you are only being charged for the expenses that you agreed to pay. But what if you disagree with an amount or service that the landlord is charging you for? I will address that topic in part 3. Until then, if you need expert lease advice or assistance with lease administration, help is just a screen tap away. Schedule your no-cost Lease Pros consultation today. And if you'd like to meet me in person, you can catch me at the Gadget Repair Expo on April 18th and 19th, 2024 in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand Hotel, where I will be speaking on the topic of how to avoid pitfalls in a commercial lease.